I'm Sean with Famous Faces Funnies.
I'm Sebastian with InvestComics.com, and this is FFFIC.
It's going to be our weekly video show where we talk about all the comics that came out this week. So the first one up is Canterbury Cricket, and Sebastian's going to talk about that.
Oh yeah, Canterbury Cricket I've been looking forward to for no better reason than he's a bug. And despite the fact that they have made fun of me relentlessly
It's a cricket.
for looking forward to Canterbury Cricket, it was really, really good. It was a really good story. Stands alone, gives you the origin of the Canterbury Cricket, which, you know, is going to go down as iconic. And
He has a green girlfriend.
briefly, for like
She's there.
a panel of 3. But yeah, it was really good. It works perfectly on its own. You don't have to read anything else. If you are reading Lois Lane and the Resistance, one of the other Flashpoint series, it ties into that, or at least it leads up to that. But nothing that you don't have to do any research. Great book. Pick it up. Gorgeous art. Regs Morales. Jordan Cricket. You know, he was like, what?
Next book is Flashpoint Hal Jordan. This is what happened if Hal Jordan never got the ring. So it's pretty much him. He's still a pilot. He's still arguing with Carol Ferris a lot. It's sort of like the first 20 minutes of the movie, but he does wind up meeting someone later on. But this is a really good book. Adam someone, I don't know who it is, one of Jeff John's friends that wanted a shot at writing apparently got it. So it's a pretty good book. It definitely ties in what Hal Jordan's doing with all the Flashpoint stuff. I would definitely recommend picking it up.
Highball, the comic. Alright. Project Superman. Gene Ha artwork. Really, I don't need to review any further. It's Gene Ha artwork. Buy that, read it. Ooh and ah at its gorgeousness. Scott Snyder wrote it, so again, it's a win-win. Story was not at all what I expected. I don't know how spoilerific, but it'd be too involved for me to try and explain too much. But it's not the first issue of Project Superman. Doesn't have Superman, and not because he's been revamped for Flashpoint. The Kal-El shows up as a baby on the last page. All right, all this takes place. The Superman they're talking about is beforehand, and they don't really call him Superman. But good stuff. Lots of
Crazy people.
X-Files-esque hidden lab conspiracy, and General Lane still doing what General Lane does best, but not quite being as paranoid and assholey about it as he usually is.
The next book, if you like Project Superman and do like Scott Snyder at all, definitely pick up Detective Comics. To me, this was my pick of the week. It was the best book, hands down, this week. It wraps up the end of the story arc that's been going on since 876. So it's a 3-part story arc. It really continued from 874, where you first see Commissioner Gordon's son again for the first time. The last page was absolutely awesome, but it tied the whole story together. It made Dick a detective for the first time since he's been Batman, and it's, like I said, this is the pick of the week. If you haven't been reading Detective Comics, you need to go back and pick up as far back as 871 to start reading this.
That's a heck of a recommendation. I bet.
Best book of the week.
Next up, we'll jump into Marvel for a little bit. We got Avengers: The Children's Crusade, which is the, what is this, like bi-monthly?
It's
tri-monthly.
Bi-monthly when they
we
decided
finish it.
to come out with it. Marvel misses the money from Young Avengers.
It's still really good. I love these characters. At the moment, I think this is like the only Avengers book I'm reading is the Avengers: The Children's Crusade. This issue.
Ooh, it's the new Beast face.
It is the new Beast face. Wow. They catch up with Wanda. They have her little family reunion. We finally get the answer, I'm not going to tell you, to whether or not Wiccan and Speed are in fact the daughters of Wanda and the Vision. We finally get an answer there. And after waiting for how long since... He's got to look. There's not like a panel where she says yes or no. You're going to have to read it. But, actually there's a panel where she says yes or no. But, you're distracting me and we're on a timer.
X Factor's in here, I'm sorry.
My attention, yeah. Everybody shows up because it's good stuff.
Sorry.
But, also we finally get, after all this time of the Marvel Universe reeling from Wanda having said 3 little words, no more mutants. Now we get Wanda saying 2 little words. More mutants.
So, what was the point of the Messiah complex? Second Coming and all that.
Nothing.
All right.
Avengers: The Children's Crusade. Well, we don't know if it's going to work yet. She can't really say more mutants and cast a spell that turns people into mutants. They actually want to wrangle up. This is I'll spoil a little bit. One of the plans that they're thinking of is trying to wrangle up mutants who lost their power and seeing some people might be happier. Hey, I used to have a garbage can for a head. I don't want to turn back in the garbage can head. But somebody else will be like, I used to be able to fly. I want to fly again. And she can be like, well, let's see if we can fix that.
Next book is Walking Dead. It's Walking Dead, so I can't say anything without spoiling it. But it's awesome. My theory on Walking Dead is there's always going to be an awesome arc, and then there's a mediocre arc that builds up to the next awesome arc. So this is the mediocre arc, but it's still just as good. And on the back, there's Elephant Man 1. So if you haven't read that, you get it for free. But yeah, Walking Dead, that's all I can really say is it's Walking Dead.
The Amazing Spider-Man.
Now you quit Spider-Man.
I did quit Spider-Man.
After one more day.
I did quit Spider-Man after one more day, although I did pop back on for the 2 Christos Gage issues with
those were good.
With the other Avengers that are Avengers Academy. Apparently I like juvenile Avengers. But I popped on to read this mostly for review purposes. Amazing Spider-Man 664 with Anti-Venom and some chick called Wraith. I actually liked it. I still don't like the whole, and understand why they had to change his status quo the way they did and whatever, but to just let myself get past all that and read this as a story, it was good, and I actually liked Anti-Venom, which I did not expect.
He's a cool character.
And they used him well. We've had Eddie Brock try and be a good guy before, and he was a good guy that ate bad guys, which was probably less than good.
But he helped old women cross the street. He
did. And then ate bad guys when he got there. But nonetheless, lots of eating of bad guys. There's a lot going on. Slot's clearly thinking ahead, and there's a whole lot of characters that I have not met yet, and I've already had the identity of Wraith and the new Hobgoblin told to me, and I said, wow, those are 2 people I don't know. But I liked it, and I liked this, whatever was going on with Wraith, because for a while apparently she was pretending to be the ghost of Captain Jean DeWolf as a spirit of vengeance. And Spidey outright tells her, he's like, I've met Spirit of Vengeance, lady, and you ain't one of them. And I recognize the technology, it's mysterious, so apparently I won't tell you who she turns out to be. You may already know, and I haven't read issues before this, but she was using stolen Mysterio technology to pretend to be Jean DeWolf. And
he has an Avengers card?
He does have an Avengers card. That's one of the best parts, is Spidey, Anti-Venom, and Wraith do this whole arrest thing, and when the cops show up, Anti-Venom takes off, Wraith takes off because they can't be detained by the police, and Spidey's like, I'll wait with the police. I've got an Avenger, and he's like, when did I become the grown-up? Slot writes a good Spider-Man, so and people have been praising that book anyway, so you don't need me to tell you it's good stuff. So it's good stuff. Another me.
Yep.
All right, Avengers: The Iron Age, which I read mostly because
Christos
Gage did the first story. There's 2 stories in here. And I really wanted to tell you, other than I knew Christos Gage was going to write good stuff, I really wanted to tell you that the concept of Iron Man having to go back in time and deal with, different time period, it's something, the kind of thing we've seen before. And, I wanted to tell you how contrived and cheesy this was. But it isn't. It's really good. It's really well done. It's a lot of introspective Tony Stark, not quite a come to Jesus moment, but every time he goes to a different time period, he's encountered once again by the fact that, oh my God, I'm a douche, and he just keeps realizing this more and more. He's like, wow, I've done more damage to the Marvel Universe than every villain and Galactus combined. But so that's kind of it's deep on that level. But the Captain Britain story was much better than I expected it to be, and I love Captain Britain, and that one was by Rob Williams and Ben Oliver. But the first story, I really liked Christos Gage and Lee Weeks, and Tony ends up back in time meeting his drunk self, and Just really delving into self-loathing on a level no hero ever has before. Good stuff.
Christopher Cage is one of the best writers in Marvel. One of the other good writers is Jonathan Hickman. This is FF number 5. It just came out this week. This is another great issue of FF. If you haven't read it, I strongly recommend picking it up. All 4 and 5 previous issues. He gets the characters so well, and this just ties so much together. And at the end, a favorite Marvel space character comes back. So definitely check it out.
Ron the Space Knight?
Yes.
You lied. Alright. Hop over to Boom for a second with Incorruptible. This is the spin-off series from Irredeemable. It's the opposite. Irredeemable was like, what if the best hero in the world turned evil? Incorruptible was, what if the worst villain became a good guy as a result of, you know, his realizing how horrible a place the world can be. I like this book at this point better than Incorruptible. Than Irredeemable. Irredeemable. Yeah, I like Incorruptible better than Incorruptible. That's how good it is. And in this issue, we get a look at some of the really, you know, the issue before it was revealed that he killed like a politician's kid in an attempt to get at this guy, and now he needs this same guy because he's looking for good people. You know, it's everybody writes the story about the hero who goes bad, and you know how that's really easy to do. This, you've got a guy who knows he's the scum of the earth, trying to do the right thing, and admitting, I have no idea. He says at least like 3 times in this book, I don't understand how good people think. I know what needs to be done. I have no idea how to do it the right way, and I need guy. He's looking for a Jiminy Cricket. We got one in Canterbury.
Next up, Green Lantern Emerald Warriors number 11. This is the first issue post-War of the Green Lanterns. The last issue of War of the Green Lanterns hasn't come out. This doesn't spoil anything for you guys at all. It's just I guess it's going to be one of 3 issues with Guy Gardner before they do the relaunch thing. It was really good. I still want to know what happens at the War of Green Lanterns, so we'll find that out hopefully in 2 weeks.
Apparently it doesn't affect Guy too badly.
Yeah, no, he's doing just fine. He's even having affairs with someone. So.
Oh, yeah. And for everyone who's complained out there that lately Green Lantern has been nothing but major event, and that the Green Lantern books haven't been just those space cop stories. This is the space cop, old style Green Lantern, really good stuff. Do you read this?
No.
Why the hell not?
Because, yeah.
This is my review for this. Read this book, okay? Those reviews that people say were, you know, this is the best book you're not reading. No, seriously, this is the best book you're not reading. Read this book. It's the 6th gun. There are 6 guns from hell, literally. And the 6th gun, our main character has the 6th gun, and this other guy's got the other 5. And every evil supernatural creature that you could ever imagine, and a couple that you wouldn't imagine, but Cullen Bunn is a twisted man. They all just constantly come after those guns. Great stuff.
It's Jonah Hex with magic.
It's more like BRPD, Hellboy in the Old
BPRD.
West. Whatever. I don't read the Hellboys.
Do your Dungeons and Dragons.
Alright, Dungeons and Dragons, actually really good book. I bought it because I played old school Dungeons and Dragons. Just expected it to be, you know, oh yeah, this reminds me of stuff. It's actually really great characters, really great stories. John Rogers, I'm willing to forgive him for his work on the False Blue Beetle. He does great stuff in this. I love it.
Venom, number 4, written by Rick Remender, my favorite writer in the Marvel Universe right now. He is awesome. He's making Venom cool again. He's not just helping old ladies cross the street. It's Flash Thompson as Venom. And he finally comes in encounter with Spider-Man for the first time, and it's probably the best issue of the story so far.
Gobs. I like Richard Moore. Sue me. Alright? I loved Boneyard. I loved everything he's done since and before then. Boneyard was what got me into him. Good stuff. Cute, quirky, weird sense of humor. Supernatural. Goblins, the whole arc of this story here. Bunch of goblins who get kicked out of the local pub because one of the goblins has sex with the jukebox. So,
oh, yeah.
Gotta love it. So they decide to open up their own bar in the petrified remains of a dead stone giant that they call the rotting giant pup. I know, it's the greatest stuff. He draws cute and he draws sexy, but in a cute sexy that doesn't make you feel creepy. Right? It's not like watching siblings do it on Game of Thrones.
Forced incest.
And Radical, we got Earp Saints for Sinners. This was the last issue. It was number 4 of 4. It was a retelling of the story of Wyatt Earp, sort of, in a post-apocalyptic sort of Vegas. It's Wyatt Earp meets Mad Max. It was good for what it was. I mean, it's not the heaviest stuff.
What he's saying is buy the trade when it comes out.
Nah, it was good. I liked it. A lot of the dialogue, I don't know, maybe they know more about Wyatt Earp than I do. All I know really is from Tombstone. And a lot of the dialogue is almost, this key dialogue that's taken straight out of Tombstone. So I don't know if that makes Tombstone canon, but works for me.
Well, thanks for joining us for our first one. Hopefully you guys didn't turn us off. See you next week.
Woohoo!